And welcome in everyone inside Driscoll Arena. JJ Sylvia, Mikey Alves with you for Somerset Access TV. It's an afternoon matchup today for the Somerset Berkley boys hockey team that co-ops with Dighton Rehoboth Seekonk as they take on Division II Mansfield. And Mikey, these D2 games that Somerset is playing this year as a Division III school can have a big impact on the state tournament rankings. How important is a game like this in the perspective of one of these Raider players?
I think it's huge since it's an out-of-conference game and you don't see Mansfield every single year. So, this could determine bragging rights for the future.
Even though it is early in the season, you always have to look at what could potentially happen down the road in terms of the Massachusetts hockey rankings. This one's going to be important as any tonight. We're going to come back to you after the national anthem, get starting lineups, and then we'll get right into this one. Back in a flash on Somerset Access TV. Inside Driscoll Arena. JJ Sylvia, Mikey Alves with you. And Mikey, this is shaping up to be a big matchup for the Raiders in the early part of their season. You and I were both part of the varsity program at one point in this hockey team. When we were getting into these types of games, there was always that antsiness. You always wanted to play these games because it was always a heightened competition.
Yeah, I feel like they just got to come out and play fast, play strong, and stick to their game. To be honest, I think they're faster than most teams around here, so just use their speed, chip and chase the puck into the zone, and just play hard. Don't make lazy plays. Keep your head up at all times, and that's it.
We're going to head down to center ice as this one is underway. First line out there for Mansfield is number 11, Matt Turingi. Number 16, Brendan Vokey, and number 2, James Warren as the forwards, with the D pairing as number 4, Declan Foley, and number 9, Anthony Diesio. For Somerset Berkley, the usual starting units have been changed a bit. Kevin Snyder sending out his second line to start with Gavin Rodriguez in between the pipes. Mansfield starting out in their offensive end. First shot on Rodriguez and an easy save for number 1. Axon up ahead for McKenna. Tried to go off glass into the zone. Went out of play. Face-off will be at mid-ice. Starting goaltenders, as I already mentioned a little bit, Dylan Butler in net tonight for Mansfield, the senior, and then a junior in net for Somerset Berkley. I was talking about him a second ago, Gavin Rodriguez. Now the usual first unit out there for the Raiders. Sullivan and Gonzalez is the D pairing, with a combination of Barbosa, Bastis, and Gavin Camara, a new face on this first line. Camara, a freshman, getting first-line minutes against a D2 team. That's a big deal, Mikey.
Yeah, you don't really see that too much, especially with Coach Snyder. I feel like he likes the veteran players, the older kids, the upperclassmen, and he must be really good if he's starting on the first line already.
Camara saw some minutes in the past few games, whether subbing in on third line or playing with the traditional fourth, but a big step up for the kid. He must have shown Kevin Snyder and his staff something during a most recent practice. Bastos up the ice quick, dangles by one defender. The shot goes wide on the blocker side of Butler. Nate Mello can't gather it in mid-ice. Comes all the way back for Blankish in the Somerset Berkley defensive zone. Blankish below the goal. Tied up with Rabinovich. Able to come away from Rabinovich for the moment. Goes up far board. And now pushed out to center by the Raiders. It was Colin Lush who got it out. And the whistle coming to stop play with 12:43 to go in this first of 3 periods today. Mikey, Somerset Berkley came into this one with a 3-1 record. Their only loss was to another team that has just been giving them fits over the last few years, the Taunton Tigers, but those two squads will meet again in the coming weeks.
I think that'll be a really great game. I mean, the last Prenda Cup game, it came down to the third period. What was the first goal scored? Like 6.5 minutes left, and it ended up a 2-1 game. So I can't wait to see those two teams play again.
Indirect shot goes wide by Mello. He'll try again with a fluttering puck. That goes wide. Somerset Berkley will have to reset in the neutral zone. Blankish off board and skipped into the zone. Once again, that's Colin Lush. Carter Sylvia providing the forecheck as Mansfield comes the other way. Dangling through, unable to get any further, is Cody Silver. Now Sylvia able to get it up for Axon. He can't handle it. Mansfield back in transition again. They'll dump and finish off their change. Blankish wraps it up this near board. Skips back toward Rodriguez. Never fully got there. Back in front, and Rodriguez will trap it. Bit of a choppy start to this one, Mikey. Both these teams not necessarily familiar with one another as much as some of these other squads in the southeastern portion of Massachusetts. They're trying to figure each other out right now, I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's a fairly early game for these high school kids. Maybe the early wake up this morning is getting to them, and it just seems like both teams need to wake up right now.
Now McKenna gives it for Gonzalez up ahead. Axon skips it off the boards for himself. He's got it in the near corner offensive zone, taken away from him by Turigny, and a whistle. Face-off will stay in front of Dylan Butler to his right. Axon, McKenna, and Fitzpatrick out there right now for the Raiders as the forwards. Mason Sullivan and Gabe Gonzalez as the D pair, and that one gets by Sullivan. Chance brewing. Turigny puts it on, and a save by Rodriguez. Axon tries to skip it forward, was looking for Fitzpatrick. That won't work. Mansfield on the attack. Nice defensive steal by Mason Sullivan. He'll push it up, trying to track it down himself. Sullivan has it. Sullivan, far side, fires, got blocked. Fitzpatrick to get the fluttering puck. An indirect tip by McKenna gets close to the goal. Not sure if it got all the way there. Back into the Somerset defensive zone, quick up on the way. Mason Sullivan puts it on, and a nice shoulder save there by Butler. He barely knew where the puck was. Bastos providing the forecheck. Mansfield looking to clear. Barbosa in there to help, but it skips onto the stick of Roman Gurr. Gurr fighting on the near board, slings it low for Kelly. Kelly looking back in front. Gurr just missed the far post. Now, cross-ice pass looking for Barbosa. He'll get some help from Bastos. Barbosa delays the inevitable and then continues to fight on the forecheck. Barbosa 3 shifts, looking like he's got a bit of a pep in his step in this one, Mikey.
Yeah, this is a pretty long shift for him right now. I mean, he's been out there for at least a couple minutes.
Barbosa continuing to power through, sends it up for Kamara. Gavin Kamara, the shot, and a save by Dylan Butler. Just a hair above 5 minutes into this D2 versus D3 contest. So glad you could join us here on Somerset Access TV and eventually Blue Raider Studios. Evan Sylvia in on the face-off. It's him, Carter Sylvia, and Colin Lush on the third line for the Raiders. Mansfield 2-on-1 brewing, big save for Gavin Rodriguez. Calm, cool, and collected with pressure closing in.
I feel like Somerset's just got to get their legs going here. They're starting kind of slow, but I'm sure they'll wake up eventually.
Mikey was mentioning earlier, first day back to school for Somerset Berkley today. Could definitely have an impact in terms of fatigue for these young student athletes. Carter Sylvia, the nice shot block. He's looking for the puck. It's under him. He skated right over it. Tough go for 20. Sullivan, long pass, trying to feed Sylvia. Couldn't get it there. That was Evan Sylvia he was looking to pass it to that time. Two Sylvias on this third line, not related though. One of them a cousin of mine, and another one of the great additions we've gotten through the merger with DR Seekonk. Kevin Snyder taking advantage of the opportunities here. Sends his second unit back out there. Draw one, and here comes Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick tried to put it on. Looks like it might have gotten blocked on its way there. McKenna trying to keep it in the zone. Had it chopped away, and Brennan Vokey will send it out. Here comes Mansfield the other way. Pass back for Vokey. The shot and a glove save by Rodriguez. Gavin Rodriguez has been tested early in this one, Mikey. He seems up to the task, and one of the few starts he's had in his high school career. Still only has about 7 or 8 starts total as a junior.
Yeah, I feel like Mansfield's just playing more tight and put together right now. And Somerset's just making a couple of little sloppy plays, having their head down and not looking for the open man, but they just got to wake up.
Wake up indeed. Under 9 minutes to play in the first period. A 0-0 tie. Another one put on just wide. Hit the side of the goal. Vokey. Wheeling. Puts it down low. Warren cross ice. Looking for the backdoor pass. Couldn't get it there. Turigny was there, and that time Gavin Rodriguez is there for the glove save. Stops the clock with 8:29 remaining. Back to the first unit for Somerset Berkley. They'll be countered by the second unit for Mansfield. Roman Kerr versus Sam Bastis. Looks like Bastis had it. Now Barbosa up the ice. Evan Barbosa tries to put it through the legs of one defender, able to get it back with two toppling. Bastis circles the goal. Looks up top, Blankush. Blankush shot, blocked. And now back the other way comes Mansfield. A shot on, and another big save for Gavin Rodriguez. That time, Kelly took it.
Mansfield's also making a good low and high cycle right now. Somerset just seems like they can't really make tape-to-tape passes, but yeah, I think Somerset just needs to keep their head up and keep cycling the puck high to low.
Not a bad strategy. Let's see if they put it into play here. Kamara, the lead pass, trying to get Barbosa. Evan was able to get there, but he wasn't able to keep it on his stick. Bodies flying below the goal as Bastis digs on the far board. Barbosa goes in to help him. Mansfield will come out with it. Up the middle, Thomas Gormley sends it out to center. Barbosa will wrap it right back in as he goes for a change. Mansfield looking to catch the Raiders off guard. Shot straight on to Rodriguez. He'll put it down and give it away for Nate Mello. Mello, the former forward turned defenseman, as part of a illustrious Final Four effort by the Raiders last season. He'll put it on just wide. Almost caught Dylan Butler sleeping on that one. Carter Sylvia in on the forecheck, but that will not slow down Mansfield's breakout too much. They get out to center. Evan Sylvia off board, gets it back, comes into the zone. His shot wide on the blocker side. Mansfield trying to clear. Mason Sullivan will keep it in. Lush, his shot got blocked. And the Hornets finally able to grab a change of their own. Sullivan taking advantage of that down the far board. Mason Sullivan circles. Got pushed away from the puck, and a penalty will come out of it as a result. Looks like it's going to be on Matt Tarigny. Sounded, or looked, I should say, from the referee's initial gestures like it was a charging call on Tarigny. Not exactly the penalty you want if you're Mansfield. You've been dictating the pace of play for most of this game so far.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they've been getting a lot of traffic and a lot of shots on Rodriguez, but this is a chance for Somerset to get one.
Officials will drop the puck again. Looks like there was too much movement before the drop. This time it goes through, and Mansfield will win and clear. Rodriguez has to be careful, gets it up to Adam Bastos. Bastos looking to connect with Barbosa, and stride, that got broken up. Blankush, stop and go in the neutral zone. Steps in, finding Barbosa. Barbosa looked to feed it across for Bastos, got tipped away back out to center. Sullivan for Bastos. Cannot get through the outstretched stick of Thomas Gormley. Somerset will reset again. Long pass across the ice for Barbosa is too far. 40 seconds gone on this first Somerset Berkley power play. Sullivan couldn't advance any further, had a forechecker right in his grill and Roman Gurr. Barbosa, the turnaround pass for Bastos, and now Bastos will give back for Evan Barbosa. Speeding up the ice, down the far side, Barbosa looking for a lane, gets it in front to McKenna, tries the backhand, that won't go, and Mansfield will clear once more. Rodriguez sticks it away from Mason Sullivan, and he'll wrap it back around all the way to the other side. Mansfield able to get there and keep it in. Blankush trying to clear now, he will. Barbosa for Bastos. Bastos trying to take it wide, he fires, and a stick save by Butler. Still half a minute left on the Raider power play. Mello to keep it in. Goes across, Blankush, his shot. Looks like it got off the left pad of Butler. Blankush trying to keep it in, he can't. Somerset Berkley will get one more shot, 10 seconds left. Barbosa dangles by one defender, tried another, and he could not do it. So the Raider power play will come to an end with perhaps 2 shots on goal. Not exactly the most effective start to a man advantage night. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left in the period. Mello will slap it in as he takes a big hit from Foley. Thomas Gormley starts the charge for Mansfield. Looked up the board for Brendan Vokey. He had a hard time getting it out at first. Now Mansfield will advance. Vokey runs into 2 Raider defenders. Mansfield staying persistent on the forecheck, so even though Somerset Berkley may get stops on those initial passes or shots, Mansfield will follow up. Axon, his shot is stopped by Butler. Mansfield will clear once more. Somerset Berkley to reset in their defensive zone with Nate Mello. Mello for Fitzpatrick, trying to find Bastos. Pass was behind number 14 in white. Cross-ice pass and tip-in for Warren. Mansfield will change. Somerset Berkley tries the quick up, but there's nobody home for Gonzalez to swing it to. That is an icing with 3:05 left to go in the first.
I feel like Somerset is just simply being outworked right now, and they got to get their legs going. Kind of reiterating what I said before, they got to use their speed. They got to make the game a foot race. I think that's their key to victory, is they got to get pucks in deep and just beat them with their legs.
It has been a difficult start to this one for the Raiders in terms of transitioning out of their D zone back to the O zone. Barbosa the tip off the board with Kamara chasing. Barbosa will have to wait. He had to wait too long. Mansfield caused the turnover here. They come in an offside. Kevin O'Brien, the senior, got a little antsy, jumped the blue line before his teammate did. 2:51 the stoppage time, with another face-off coming just outside the Raider defensive zone in front of their bench. Push down into the Raider defensive zone. Gonzalez for Sullivan. And they tried to push it up for Kamara, and then Bastos couldn't connect. Off glass goes Gonzalez, quickly gathered on the back end by Diesso. Steal in the middle. Trying to get it towards goal was Barbosa. Bastos was crashing as well, and another cover-up for Dylan Butler.
Yeah, it seems like Somerset's getting good entries going down the wing side, but once they get behind the net, they kind of get confused and lose the puck, and then it ends up going the other way. But again, I think they just need to stay simple. I think they just need to get rid of the fancy stick handling with their head down, because it's never going to go right. You just have to make tape-to-tape passes with your head up right now.
And with the struggles for Somerset Berkley, you have to give credit, Mikey, to the defensive efforts by Mansfield. They clearly came in with a very calculated game plan.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're playing tight right now. I think they're looking a little bit better than Somerset defensively, but we'll see what happens for the rest of the game.
Just about 2 minutes left in this first period. We are still scoreless here in Fall River. Shea added ricochet off his feet. Blankush out to center, lead pass, Carter Sylvia off the board. Sylvia got tripped up as he tried to move back towards the middle. No call. Evan Sylvia to keep it in. He'll fire it toward goal. Got stopped on its way in by Max Martin. Mansfield tried to push it out to center and ended up going up into their bench. A very slow, methodical first period. A lot of stoppages. A penalty thrown in there as well, but no scoring thus far in this one.
I think me and you both know with Coach Schneider and how he coached at practice and the sprints he made us do, I don't think conditioning should be an issue for Somerset. So maybe they just got to take Mansfield into deep waters and just, make the game dirty from there.
Hornets on the charge. Near side to Rigney. Got it taken away from him by Nate Mello. Cam McKenna off the board will get it out. Axon will chase. Puck ping-ponging off the boards here. Now Fitzpatrick trying to feed McKenna, put it behind him. That one dumped down and in for an icing by Diesso. And the sophomore defender will head to the bench after a bit of a mishap there. Face-off will come all the way down to the Hornet defensive end with 1 minute and 8 seconds left in period number 1. Second unit will stay out there for Kevin Snyder with the top defensive unit. That one off the face-off win for Mansfield, pushed out to center. Gonzalez tried to swing it back towards Brett Axon. He'll forecheck despite not grabbing the pass. Now up the ice, Thomas Gormley trying to do it himself. Pivots, looking for the backdoor pass, and it went under Gavin Rodriguez and in the net. And a 1-0 Mansfield lead, and the captain does it, Thomas Gormley.
Mansfield's taking advantage of the space they have right now. They're making good key chances for themselves in the offensive zone, and I think that's something Somerset's struggling with right now.
So the Raiders falling behind 1-0 in the very wee moments of this first period. Another face-off win for Mansfield. Gonzalez to grab the loose puck. Tried to go off board. Went right onto the stick of O'Brien. O'Brien cycles it around. Picked up by Gavin Kamara on the other end. Barbosa to help him. Barbosa, he's in. He fires, and a stop by Butler. My, oh my, Dylan Butler. At least, I've been trying to count, but I've never been the best at it. At least 10 saves here in this first period. The senior goaltender standing on his head. That one skipped over the head of Gonzalez. Fast break, 2-on-1, and Mason Sullivan shuts it down with a nice defensive poke check. Mansfield will keep it. A whiff shot will lead to a dump out by Gonzalez, but that will result in an icing.
Honestly, I think both teams will get stronger from here on out. I mean, it just seems like this is kind of like the first round of a fight. They're kind of feeling each other out, and they're making mistakes, but I think that both teams will continue to get sharper throughout the game.
It's all about dusting off the rust. Rodriguez just making sure the officials get his net back where it's supposed to be. Bastis in on the draw. Able to win it that time. Mason Sullivan wrapping it off the boards. Almost got out. Good defensive play there by Bastis. Sullivan with the block as well. Back out in front. Couldn't get the good wood on it. And the period comes to an end with another missed chance. 1-0 Mansfield after the first period in a tough battle between a Division II school in the Hornets and a Division III school in Somerset Berkley. Back in the booth, JJ Sylvia, Mikey Alves with you. And Mikey, if you're going into that Raider locker room during this intermission as Kevin Snyder, what are you saying to your squad after a 1-0 deficit after 15?
It might sound cliche, but it seems like Mansfield just simply wants it more right now. And I feel like you just got to come out in the second period, play strong, play hard, and play like you really want it. And it might sound cliche, but it's evident on the ice right now that Mansfield is just always keeping their head up, making smart plays, and Somerset's just still getting their legs underneath them.
And even though Somerset is still getting their legs underneath them, Mikey, what was one player that stood out to you from the Raiders in this first period in terms of positive aspects?
I feel like Evan Barboza is making great zone entries. It's just he's kind of losing focus once he gets in there. Like, they're getting behind the net and making a turnover. They're having their head down, trying to make too many moves, and it's just going the other way. But I feel like you just got to keep his head up and, again, make tape-to-tape passes and see what lanes is open.
A lot of talent, a lot of speed on both these squads. We'll take a short break here on Somerset Access TV. Back for the second period in just a few. Back here inside Driscoll Arena, JJ Sylvia, Mikey Alves along with you for Somerset Access TV and eventually Blue Raider Studios. And Mikey, Somerset Berkley had a lot of trouble with the breakouts and crisp passing and offensive zone function in that first period. Who do you think is one of those players that is going to have to step up to help propel the Raiders back into this game?
I feel like it's got to be the older kids, like big dudes like Mason Sullivan and like Evan Barboza. The kids that have more experience, that have been in games like this, that like, okay, I've been here before and I know how to, succeed in games like this. But yeah.
A 1-0 lead after one period, and Mikey, that goal that got scored by Mansfield, definitely a finicky one. Tough look for Gavin Rodriguez with all the saves he made earlier in period one.
Yeah, it's a game of hockey, It's going to be lucky bounces. You could completely be outplaying another team, and they can still have the lead at the end of the game. But I feel like just Somerset needs to play smart, and they'll be fine. I mean, they don't look bad right now. They just need to get their legs going, once I said.
Somerset Berkley looking to get their legs going as we start the second period. We are going to head down to the ice, and we'll see you soon. Somerset Berkley going with their first unit. Bastis, Camara, and Barboza. Mason Sullivan and Gabe Gonzalves as the D pairing. Number one unit also for Mansfield, centered by Brendan Vokey. Somerset Berkley will start with possession. Camara tried the top pass for Bastis. Mansfield will force Somerset to regroup. Gonzalves looking into the middle of the ice, got tipped by a Mansfield Hornet down into their defensive zone. Barbosa behind the goal, has it ricochet to Bastis, but stepping in is Diesso to prevent Bastis from going any further. Now the Hornets going the other way. Pass up ahead, that's Warren into the zone. His shot and a pad stop for Rodriguez. Back out in front, nobody able to get a stick on it. Barbosa tried to put it by a player and nearly cost him a goal, and it did. Putting it off the back of Gavin Rodriguez is James Warren, and it's a 2-0 Mansfield lead early in the second.
See, Mansfield they're playing simple, but they're also shooting simple. They're not trying to go bar down every single time and make nifty moves. They're just getting quality shots on net, and that's why I think Rodriguez is able to stop a lot of these, because he's a great goaltender, but they need to wake up.
A 2-0 Mansfield lead here on the road. Somerset Berkley searching for answers. Kevin Snyder having a quick word with the officials. Both goals for Mansfield coming off of redirections right in front of the net. First one went between the legs of Rodriguez. Second, off the back of this junior goaltender. Raiders looking to put a better effort forward in front of their goaltender the rest of the way. Gormley, the other goal scorer, swings it far side. Kelly, and Kelly will rope it into the zone. Nate Mello taps it back around to the other side. Fitzpatrick shovels it out off a ricochet to center. Brett Axon trying to enter the zone. Cam McKenna attempted to stop so he could enter, and he could not. He takes a topple. That is offsides. Mansfield out of the Hawkmock League, one of the more competitive hockey conferences in the state. Not exactly a conference Somerset Berkley interacts too much with in most sports, but nevertheless a good chance for the Raiders to see how they match up against a highly touted Division II foe. Cam McKenna looking for the steal in his defensive zone. Shot from the point, doesn't even make it through. Axon pushes it up for Fitzpatrick, who lost it. Gormley looking to shovel it on goal. Rodriguez may have gotten a piece of it. McKenna, the tip out to center. Now he's in a foot race. Cam McKenna coming down the near side, had it pushed off his stick. Penalty on the way as Axon fires, and a stop by Butler with a hooking call on the way. Call's going to be on Logan Thoreau as the sophomore defenseman will head to the box. Second power play for the Raiders. They were able to get a couple shots off in that first power play during period one, Mikey. This one, they need to definitely have a lot more aggressiveness.
Yeah, they need to capitalize on their power play opportunities right now, because obviously Mansfield hasn't gotten any. Somerset had one, but they really weren't getting strong cycles up high and down low, and they just need to work the puck better right now.
Bastos won the draw, but Blankish couldn't keep it in. Somerset will try again. Barbosa in on the forecheck. Diesso trying to push it up board. Bastos crashing in. But the Hornets able to work as a unit and get it out to center. Blankish back the other way. Barbosa. Barbosa takes the hit, trying to stay with the puck. He'll get help from McKenna. Now Blankish across for Sullivan. Mason Sullivan, the shot got blocked by Silver. Now another push on by Blankish. Foley stepping in the way of that one, and he'll shovel it off of the hand of Mason Sullivan back into the Somerset Berkley defensive end. 40 seconds gone on this second Raider power play. A couple of shot attempts, but none on net. Bastos looking for a lane. A heavy forecheck right in his face from Matt Turigny. Warmly, the pickoff. His shot as he steps in. Rodriguez, the save, and he tried to dish it off, but a whistle quickly will stop play. 59 seconds left on the Raider power play. Both teams will get a line change.
Somerset needs to match their intensity right now. They need to start getting bodies on guys more, because honestly, it just seems like Mansfield is kind of roughing them up right now, and they're not answering the bell.
Face off in the Raider defensive zone, won by Axon. Brett Axon looking to pass across for Fitzpatrick, who was behind him. Fitzpatrick getting help from both Mello and Axon. Puck loose in mid-ice for Fitzpatrick to grab in his defensive end. Fitzpatrick across the line. His shot blocked by Warmley. Fitzpatrick to chase, but Foley will rope it all the way down to kill a few more seconds off of this Raider power play. Mason Sullivan had it pushed off of his stick by Gurr. Fitzpatrick in there to help Sullivan against Gurr. Raiders able to move it out. Nate Mello dangles into the offensive zone, coming down near side. The backhander goes off the side of the goal. Mello tries to cycle it back below. Evan Sylvia was there, but Mansfield will clear. Sylvia, Mello, Fitzpatrick, and Sullivan out there as the 4 or 5 now for the Raiders. Coming in, Fitzpatrick, the shot pad stopped by Butler. Foley trying to clear, puts it up into the netting. Face-off will stay in the offensive zone. Both sides now back to even strength.
I know it's 2 completely different levels, but if I had to compare this Mansfield squad to a team right now, it'd be the Florida Panthers. They are constantly on the puck. Their forecheck is very strong right now, and the Somerset Raiders couldn't even break the puck out of their own zone with Mansfield having a man down right now, and they just need to match the intensity.
Bastis the steal, and a shot got blocked. Gonzalez to keep it in. He'll rope it back below goal. Gavin Kamara and Bastis in on the forecheck. Kamara there first. Barbosa to help on the other side. Foki able to get it off of Barbosa's stick, but he gets poke checked away from the puck as well. Barbosa to backhand shovel it deeper into the offensive zone. Kamara the steal on Gibson for Barbosa. His shot pad stopped by Butler. Barbosa looking back in front for Bastis. Foley grabs it and dumps it out. Rodriguez to stick it for Gonzalez. He'll go off board. That one's picked off. Matt Tarigny the shot and a stop by Rodriguez. Barbosa the other way. His shot. Blocker stopped by Butler. Play starting to pick up in terms of speed. Barbosa between the legs, looking into the slot, got tipped away to Sullivan. Mason Sullivan the shot. It's stopped, and Bastis nearly had a tuck-in. Couldn't corral it. Gonzalez trying to keep it in. He can't do it. Raiders will have to cycle back out and go back in. Now Bastis on the forecheck as Voki will send it into the Somerset defensive end. Back and forth we go. Here in this middle period, 9:30 to go, 2-0 in favor of the Mansfield Hornets. Carter Sylvia the steal and neutralized for Gonzalez, and now Sullivan. Up ahead, Evan Sylvia. Sylvia got it pushed away from him by Logan Thoreau. Thoreau doing a bit of redeeming after being called for the last penalty. Carter Sylvia up the middle, leads it up, able to connect with Lush. Lush has to chase it down after he tipped it forward for himself. He'll get it back for Sylvia, who couldn't corral it. Sylvia the other way. And it's offside. Looks like Gormley jumped over the line that time, trying to create a 2-on-2 situation for the Hornets. So Mikey, Somerset Berkley able to get some more shots on with a definite increase in consistency here in the second period. Still no goals though. What do you think in terms of strategy needs to change? The Raiders definitely making adjustments, but more still to be done.
I think they're doing a much better job testing Butler right now, but Mansfield's test Rodriguez all game. Eventually, I feel like Somerset Raiders just need to get a good bounce in front, and they just need to keep testing Butler and keep getting quality shots on net.
Now Gurr and mid-ice. Pushes it forward, and Mansfield will dump it in. Blankush to chase it down for the Raiders. He has it pushed off of his stick by his number partner, Roman Gurr. Gurr tries the wraparound off the post. Mansfield still pressuring. Gurr tried to push it in front, taken away by Nate Mello. Mello tried to feed it on a backhand pass across ice for Carter Sylvia. That won't go. Mansfield sends it right back in. Blankush for Lush. Tried the long cross-ice pass for Carter Sylvia. He'll have to chase it down as Butler traps it. And Carter Sylvia goes down hard. Diesso was the one who shoved him down, looking like he was just defending his goalie there. Game getting a bit chippy now for both sides, Mikey.
Yeah, the Raiders need to be careful taking the puck up the middle like they just did before. Almost led to a bad turnover. But, yeah, I mean, they just need to keep cycling the puck, and eventually they need to crack the seal here.
Accident on the draw, wins it for Gonzalez, and now Sullivan, the one-timer, goes off of Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick will chase it down and swing it below goal. Voki to grab it for the Hornets. He'll go back below for Gormley. Gormley trying to feed Voki, who was speeding through mid-ice. Won't go. Sullivan back the other way, and he had 3 sticks right on him. Here comes Matt Torigny, left side, looking for the backdoor feed, and Rodriguez kept it out. What a job by Gavin Rodriguez right there, Mikey.
It's very evident how much better and more stronger fundamentally that Mansfield's playing right now, and it's paying them dividends. And a 2-goal lead in hockey is considered the most dangerous lead in hockey, and all it takes is one lucky bounce, one good scoring chance, and Somerset's right back in this game.
Let's see if that bounce presents itself. Gonzalez goes off board. Mansfield will keep it in. A fluttering puck goes on to Rodriguez and skips below goal. Now Cam McKenna far board. Trying to go off the boards for himself. That won't work. Thoreau is right on it. Mansfield with bodies flying everywhere. Gains the O-zone. Mason Sullivan looking to get it back out. He will. Sullivan with a penalty on the way. Across the blue line, has it pushed off the stick for the moment. He still has it. Sullivan below goal trying to find Axon. And finally, Mansfield will gain possession. Gormley trying to dump it out, but a penalty on the way. The third of the game for Mansfield and the third power play for the Raiders. Opportunities presenting themselves for Somerset Berkley here, Mikey.
2 great kills by the Hornets, to be honest. I mean, they're playing a lot better right now, but the Raiders need to capitalize on an opportunity like this. They've had 2, and the Hornets have shut the door, but they just need one lucky bounce right now.
Top unit of forwards out there with McKenna subbing in for this power play. Nate Mello to keep it in, but Silver was persistent and made sure Mello couldn't do it for long. Mello for Barboza. He'll enter the zone with Bastos. Barboza, some nifty stick handling, will not work on Silver once more. And Cody Silver, a junior, very, very good in terms of getting his stick in passing and shooting lanes. He's presented that multiple times so far. Sauce pass for Mello, trying to go back for Bastos. Gers right in that passing lane, and finally to finish off the dump out is Diesso. Barboza dangling through mid-ice, gains the zone, more dangles, but he lost the puck. And clearing it is Foley for the Hornets. Minute left on the third Somerset Berkley power play. Turnover by Mello, a shot over the goal. Just barely missing is Brendan Vokey. Bastos trying to find McKenna. Blankush will help out. Here comes Bastos. Puck flutters off of his stick. Barboza there to help. And now Blankush, with Barboza getting it taken away, will push it low. Nate Mello to keep it in near side for Barboza. Dangles by 1. Tried the shot, got blocked. Warmly again on the defensive end. Raiders still with 30 seconds. Trying to keep possession, but Mansfield doing everything they can to slow down this white attack. Last 15 seconds. Last shot for the Raiders to put one in on this power play. Long pass connecting with Fitzpatrick as he pushes it forward. Looking back into the middle, he finds on a ricochet Bastos, but Thoreau stepping in with Bastos, losing it for a moment. He'll dump it out. And a whistle with Cam McKenna getting called for a high stick on the back end. So now the first power play opportunity for Mansfield in this game. Let's see if their script is similar to Somerset Berkley's on the man advantage, Mikey.
Yeah, the Raiders 0 for 3 on the power play right now. Let's see what Mansfield can do. But you have to wonder when the frustration is going to set in. A team like the Hornets are constantly on the puck, and it's going to frustrate these younger kids. And I feel like they just need to keep their cool and stick to their game. And most importantly, stay optimistic. Don't get down on yourself because you're down 2-0 and you're getting outworked right now. Just keep fighting.
Another stop for Gavin Rodriguez. And another face-off win for the Hornets. Foley finding Vokey. He'll cycle top of the circle, had his shot blocked by Axon. Vokey Cross ice. Now a shot from that far side. That one's stopped by Rodriguez. And Axon will finish the clear out down to Butler. Brett Axon, the lone forechecker. Somerset running a 1-3 here on the kill. Foley behind the goal, met by Gonzalves. Gabe Gonzalves chopping at the puck, trying to get it out of the skates of Foley. Mansfield still has it. Terigny cycles. Up top, swinging it for Gormley. Gormley, cross-ice pass into the feet of Vokey. Vokey back across. Terigny couldn't handle it, and the Raiders push it out. Less than a minute left on this Mansfield power play. Vokey through mid-ice, had it pushed off his stick by a combination of Evan Sylvia and Evan Barboza. Gabe Gonzalves digging below goal, had it pushed away from him. Gormley back out in front, and shutting that down is Gonzalves. Barboza, the shovel out to center, able to get the puck away from a Mansfield defender. He's got it far board, and he'll push it back out into center ice as the Raiders look to kill as much time as possible on this penalty kill. At center ice, Vokey off the pass from Gurr. Vokey finds Gormley, his shot, and another stop for Rodriguez. Rodriguez, another glove save on a shot from Terigny with 2 seconds left on this Raider penalty kill.
It looked like Barboza was trying to clear the puck out there, and it hit the ref. I mean, it seemed like it was going to go the length of the ice, but ref definitely got hit with a shot there.
Hope he's okay. I'm sure we have ice packs and an ice rink. 2 minutes, 50 seconds left in the period. 2 seconds left on the Mansfield man advantage. Face-off won by the Hornets, back to even strength. Now on the board, Fitzpatrick tries to go across the ice, kept in by Foley. Foley the shot off the stick of Rodriguez and up and behind the net. Fitzpatrick digging for it, he takes a topple. Mansfield pushes it up top and now back down low. Roman Gurr cycling it even deeper for Kevin O'Brien, back in front. So many opportunities for both sides in this period, but no goals scored on either end. Foley battling with McKenna, finds its way onto the stick of Nate Mello, looking to feed Fitzpatrick, just a bit in front of him, and Diesso will send it back in, but he was in front of the red line, so that's an icing. 2 minutes, 1 second left. Kevin Snyder will go back to his top unit. Kamara, Bastis, and Barboza with Mello and Blankush. Vokey's top unit out there once again for Mansfield. That shot from the point didn't get through to Butler. Blankush to keep it in. His shot did get through to Butler. He makes the save. Nate Mello unable to keep it in for the Raiders on this near board. Mello had it taken off his stick for the moment. Loose puck to Barboza, but Thoreau, another great defensive play to shut that down. Mansfield with another icing.
Throughout the entire game, Somerset's making too many individual plays right now, and I think that's what's separating them from Mansfield. Mansfield's playing as one team right now, and you see too many guys on the Somerset roster that are trying to make too many moves and keeping their head down. I feel like that's not doing them well at all right now.
A lot of areas of needed improvement. Bastis, the tip save. Butler, Kamara trying again. He can't finish. Kamara back out in front. Went under the legs of Bastis. He'll keep it with Gonzalves helping. Bastis the shot. And Butler did not see it get to him. Gormley blocked it. Bastis for Gonzalves. Whiffed on the shot. And now the other way. Terigny. Matt Terigny in on Rodriguez. He scores! Matt Terigny. 3 different goal scorers for the Mansfield Hornets, and it's a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, Somerset has just been outworked for 2 periods straight, and again, I don't really know. I think they just need to just keep fighting and keep hoping for the best because they're not too far out of this game right now.
The competitiveness is there between these two squads, but the Hornets are just getting the bounces right now. 3-0 in favor of the visiting squad. Mason Sullivan battling with Gurr in the corner, now pushed below goal. Gonzalez to battle with Gurr. He'll get help from Bastis, who looks to shovel it for Kamara. But Mansfield is all over the ice, stopping most of the advances by the Raiders. Mason Sullivan with under a minute feeds Barboza, and now Bastis. Adam Bastis into the zone, finds a lane. His shot, he scores! Adam Bastis, with some late period magic, cuts the lead down to 2. It's 3-1.
Yeah, Somerset desperately needed a scoring opportunity like that. Great play by Bastis. And again, 2-goal game right now, and they're not far away at all.
The 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in hockey. And Adam Bastis just brought the danger. 35.5 left in this second period. Kevin Snyder sending out his third line to counter the second line for Mansfield in this last half minute. Gormley going high. Mason Sullivan picked it off. Sullivan, the shot! It was blocked in front by Gormley. Carter Sylvia was there too, but it's pushed back out to center. Sullivan will give and go with Nate Mello. He lost it in his feet. Mello up the board looking for Evan Sylvia. Gormley will gather it and come forward for the Hornets. Gormley goes through the legs of Sullivan. Sullivan blocked it. Mason Sullivan the other way. Got it taken off of his stick. 3 seconds, 2-1 with the buzzer sounding to end this second period of play. And an eventful second period at that. 2 goals on the board, 1 for each side during this one. JJ Sylvia, Mikey Alves back with you here at Driscoll Arena. And Mikey, Somerset Berkley, still improvements to be made, but a big goal from Bastis to finish this second frame off.
Yeah, I still think Mansfield's looking a lot stronger right now, and you know what they say, pressure makes diamonds, and pressure also makes success, and I think that saying goes perfect to the Mansfield team right now. Their pressure and their forecheck is starting to really get to Somerset. They're hesitating on puck battles. They're losing puck battles because they're keeping their head down and making too many turnovers, and they just got to stay clean and stay patient, and I think they got an opportunity to tie this game for sure.
Let's see if the Raiders can claw back and tie this game. At least 15 more minutes left in this one. JJ Sylvia, Mikey Alves. We'll take a short break. Back for the third here on Somerset Access TV. Back inside Driscoll Arena once more. JJ Sylvia along with Mikey Alves as we get set to start the third period. And Mikey, 1 goal aside there in the second period, but the big one was from Adam Bastis. Could that be a momentum shifter for the Raiders as this third period begins?
Oh yeah, for sure, because now they're going into the third period with a lot of confidence. They know they can outplay this team. It just, they haven't done it so far. They haven't looked like themselves, but I think they'll have a better period coming ahead, and we'll see what happens, I guess.
We will see what happens indeed. A very tough period on the way. Let's head down to the ice and get this third period underway. JJ Sylvia, Mikey Alves with you. Third period of play about to get back underway here at Driscoll Arena in Fall River. JJ Sylvia, Mikey Alves along with you. So glad you could join us here on Somerset Access TV and eventually Blue Raider Studios. 15 more minutes back up on the clock. And Kevin Snyder will start the second period with his second unit, just like he did at the start of this one, hoping to light a fire under his squad that started off scoreless for the first 28 and a half minutes of this game. Down into the Mansfield zone as this period gets underway. That one trickled out to center. Nate Mello will trade with Sullivan, and now McKenna gets the puck pushed off his stick. Matt Turigny, one of the goal scorers, digging below goal for Mansfield. Turigny going up top, Foley. Back for Turigny, cycling high circle, goes across, and unable to gather the puck was Diesso. D'Esso will swing it below goal. Vokey trying to dig it. Fitzpatrick in there, along with Mello. Nate Mello will shovel it out to center and down into the Mansfield end. Icing waved off after it hit the corner board and ricocheted outward. That time it ricocheted up and hit the ceiling, keeping the face-off in the Somerset Berkley offensive end. And Mikey, one of the bright spots of this game has been the goaltending performance of Dylan Butler. He's faced plenty of shots, but my oh my has he been poised, despite even that one goal.
Yeah, I like the battle Butler and Rodriguez are having. They've both made some pretty key saves, and they're both keeping their teams in this game despite the score. But I feel like they just need to keep working. I stay optimistic, and Somerset will keep getting closer to tying this game.
Mello has it taken off his stick. It's Gurr, but a great play by his number partner in Blankish to prevent any further advancement. Now far board, Barboza lost the puck. Kelly for Gurr. His shot stopped by Rodriguez. At a bad angle at that. Now Bastos for Evan Sylvia trying to go back for Bastos. It was a bit wide, but he'll track it down and keep pushing it forward before the Mansfield Hornets come back in the other direction. Gurr in a stick battle with Evan Sylvia. Sylvia gets it away to Bastos. Bastos had it pushed away from him. Back into the Somerset Berkley defensive end we go with Nate Mello. Now Evan Sylvia looking to go across and offsides after the pass interception by D'Esso.
I feel like Somerset's slow start has been, one of the topics of this game, and I honestly, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. As an athlete myself, I'm notoriously known for being a slow starter to my coaches, but finishing strong will always get the job done.
Some more changing up of the lines. Now Gavin Camara going from the first line to the third line to join Carter Sylvia and Lush. Mansfield looking to advance. Sylvia has the puck off the botched pass. He'll have it pushed off his stick and back into the zone by Cody Silver. Wrapped around the board for Carter Sylvia again. Sylvia across the red, battling with Silver, and Sylvia able to get it deep. Battling down low was Lush and Camara. Mason Sullivan able to keep it in almost. It's called for the offside. Stops the clock with 12:26 remaining in this contest.
And Mansfield's physicality is remaining strong here. I mean, they're sending guys into the boards left and right, and Somerset needs to match that. They need to match the physicality and use big guys like Mason Sullivan and kind of start to try to bully the other team, because that's what they're doing to the Raiders right now.
Gonzalez can't keep it in. That will go down, and it's an icing. Somerset Berkley down by only 2 after the late second period goal by Bastos. Accident on the draw, wins it from McKenna, and now Sullivan once again couldn't keep it in front of the blue line. Delayed offsides as the Raiders get back. Now Hornets on the break. Gormley, who had the first goal for Mansfield, had it pushed off his stick by Mason Sullivan. Sullivan battling below goal, gets help from Gonzalez. Hornets will keep it in. That shot from the point blocked by Sullivan back out to center. McKenna on the forecheck with Fitzpatrick. Swung to the near side to another goal scorer in Tarigny, but he's met by Gonzalez. Vokey looking back in front for Tarigny. Mason Sullivan has the interception and he charges up. Sullivan left side, tried the backhand. Not sure if it got all the way to Butler. Nonetheless, the Hornets send it back for the Raiders to reset. Axon, met by 3 Hornets, has to retreat. Now Blankish, the pass and deflection by Fitzpatrick with help from McKenna, but Mansfield stays persistent. O'Brien gets called for the hand pass there. Face-off going down into the Raider offensive end with the first line back out there. Now Evan Sylvia joining that first line, Mikey. So Kevin Snyder flip-flopping some of his wingers on that first line, trying to find the best combination against this Mansfield Hornets squad.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I think big changes need to be made right now if they want to get themselves back in this game, because time's becoming a factor here and they don't have a lot left.
Just a hair under 11 to play. Blankish from the point and the pad stop for Butler. Sylvia finding Barboza across ice for Mello. It hopped off his stick, but he got it back. Mello, his shot, and a nice cover up there for Dylan Butler. Butler made the smart decision, bounced off his pad, covered up right away with the traffic around him.
Yeah, they just need to keep testing him, and one of these pucks will go in.
Top unit will stay out. Bastos in on the draw. He'll win it for Barboza, the shot, and another stop for Dylan Butler. Face-off will stay where it just was, to the left of the senior goaltender. 10:38 to play. Another win to Barboza. Instead of shooting, he'll shovel it below goal and go get it. Barboza battling with Gormley, gets help from Bastos. Adam Bastos now battling with Gormley, who finally is able to grab it and push it out. Mansfield looking to get into a foot race, and winning it is Nate Mello. It was Mello versus Silver, and Mello got the better of him there. Evan Sylvia the other way, a fluttering shot, skipped in front of Butler after the initial shave. He'll pounce on the rebound chance. It seems, Mikey, all three of these periods have been very slow-moving, tons of stoppages. Really just goes to show how many shots are getting on from both sides.
Yeah, I mean, both teams are getting quality scoring chances here, but Somerset just need to keep knocking on the door and see what happens.
Sullivan unable to keep it in. Gonzalez to gather at center. He'll flutter it forward and was looking to find Cam McKenna. That one picked off by Fitzpatrick on a cross-ice try from the Hornets. Delayed offsides will keep it with Mansfield. Dangling through mid-ice and dumping it in is Diallo. Off a ricochet, it goes right to Vokey, who puts it over the goal. Vokey to chase it down, far corner. Now Turigny to help him out. Turigny tried to go back below goal for Vokey, taken away. Mason Sullivan the other way with it. Sullivan's shot and a glove save for Dylan Butler.
Yeah, I think Sullivan had to use the wing there so he could maybe get a chance and use the speed and get a breakaway. But again, I'm seeing a little bit too much individual effort right now from the Somerset Raiders.
Mikey mentioned earlier Mansfield playing like a cohesive team, one unit. Somerset Berkley needing that type of performance the rest of the way to attempt to draw even. Bastos tried the shot off the draw. Didn't end up winning it. Barboza to keep it along the board. Barboza for Bastos, the backhander right in front. Evan Sylvia was there, but it looked like it got sticked away by a Hornet defender. Back in the Somerset end, Mason Sullivan whiffs on the pass. Gonzalez able to help him, and now Barboza across the line, dangles by one, looking to the back pass for Evan Sylvia. It's loose with nobody sure where it is, and now below the Mansfield goal. Kelly going high off glass to evade the long reach of Mason Sullivan. Somerset resets, and here they come again. Bastos into the zone. Went through three guys, had the puck for the moment. High stick will be called.
Yeah, Mansfield's pressure is starting to swarm on the Raiders right now, and I think that's causing them to cough the puck up and make a lot of mistakes.
Raiders need to limit the mistakes the rest of the way, should they want a favorable outcome in this one. High off glass again, that's been the method for Mansfield's clears all day. A ricochet right in front, puck still loose. And finally pouncing on it is Dylan Butler. A much more Somerset-heavy offensive period here in the third so far, Mikey.
Yes, indeed. I mean, they're starting to play a lot better here early here in this. We're midway here through this third period, and I feel like they just got to keep knocking and stay optimistic. And I think one of these pucks will go in. They're starting to test them really heavy now.
Nate Mello trying to find Bastis. Adam put it in front of himself, but as has happened numerous times tonight, Mansfield great on defense, great on the forecheck, disrupting the flow of the Raiders game. Now into the middle, a shot from Contingway and a rebound, they score! It's Warren, second of the game, and the Hornets just might have put this one to bed with 8 to play.
Yeah, Somerset had great effort here, keeping the puck in their zone, great offensive zone time, but all it took was one bounce the other way, and it's a 3-goal game.
If I'm correct, that's the second of the game for James Warren. A 4-1 Mansfield lead on the road. Carter Sylvia off the draw, goes down into the zone below goal. Sylvia helping out Lush. Now Lush looking back in front. Camara was there, pass didn't get there. Mansfield on the attack the other way. A heavy rush by James Warren. Hornets unable to keep it in as Somerset tried to clear. It's an offside. 7 minutes, 35 seconds left here at Driscoll Arena. Not the ideal outcome in this D2 versus D3 matchup. But nonetheless, a lot of takeaways for Somerset Berkley from this one. They know what not to do against highly competitive opponents moving forward. Camara up the ice for Lush, across the red line. Lush feeding Carter Sylvia as he heads into the zone, backed up by Camara. Gavin Camara, the shot, another pad save. Butler, and Mansfield will clear for an icing. Not a bad shift from that third unit there, Mikey.
Yeah, for sure. They're pretty strong right now, but regardless of the outcome of this game, it's never going to be a loss if they learn a lesson from this. And experiences like this, I think, is what forms championship teams. And when the state playoffs comes around, and hopefully they'll make it, these are going to be the games they learn from to get them over the hump to finally win that state title.
A steal here, Fitzpatrick for Axon! And a great defensive play on the back end by Roman Gurr. Axon looking back in front. Fitzpatrick, the slapper, got blocked. McKenna looking to follow up. He puts it back in front. It's still loose in front of Butler, and he pounces on it to get the whistle. Amongst the fray, Dylan Butler once again slamming the door shut on another Raider offensive chance. D unit will change for the home squad. Sullivan and Gonzalves off. Blankish and Nate Mello in. Axon off the win, takes a shot that's stopped by Butler. And it goes back in front and they score!
Is that an own goal?
It's Brad Axon, I think. Still got to figure out what the deal is with that. A lot of finicky goals today. I might have to look at that one back after this game. I'm not even sure what happened. I don't know if Axon put it off the back of the goalie, if it never left the crease, whatever it might have been. It is a goal for the Raiders, and back to a 2-goal lead with 7 to play. Mikey, maybe I spoke too soon.
Yeah, it seemed like the Hornets defenseman tried to clear the puck out, and I don't know what happened. A bad bounce off his stick and ended up right in the net.
A wild turn of events with just under 7 to play, and the Raiders are back in it. And the first line's back out there with the same D pairing of Mello and Blankish. Mansfield able to win that one. Gormley in his own zone, pushing it up for Turigny. Turigny over the line, had his pass picked off by Bastis. Sam Bastis the other way with a ton of speed, and he can't tuck it in. My apologies, it's Adam Bastis, not Sam. Keegan Hamlet's going to get on me for that one later. Shot on and a save for Rodriguez. But nonetheless, we've been really just talking up so much positivity about Adam Bastos in this game. He nearly had another opportunity right there, Mikey.
Yeah, to me, he's looked by far the best player on the Somerset team right now, and I'm very impressed with his skating and his puck handling skills.
Let's see if Bastos can help get the Raiders within one. A slow-moving quick up for Barboza. He'll find Bastos across the line. Bastos gets tripped up, and no arms go up. Raiders keep possession. Blankush, his shot got blocked, and Mansfield will clear. Cross-ice pass connects with Barboza off a ricochet. Evan Barboza in. His shot got blocked. Mason Sullivan to follow it up. Tried to push it below goal for himself, but Gurr is able to work it out. And shoving it into the zone is Kelly. First one there for the Raiders is Fitzpatrick. He'll try to go up near board. That won't work. Mansfield keeps it in for the moment, but Fitzpatrick gets a second try, and this time he's out of the zone and into the O-zone. Fitzpatrick, the shot goes wide on the blocker side of Butler. Barboza for the indirect. Axon couldn't get it in. Back on another shot from Sullivan and another stop for Butler. And Mansfield will clear, but an icing. Talk about an eventful first game of the season for me in the booth as a play-by-play commentator, Mikey. Lots of things I can't even explain, but nonetheless, we've got a close game here with 5 to play.
Yeah, it seems like Somerset is most successful when they're staying wide and looking for lanes directly on net. When they're trying to split the defensemen and make too many moves, I think that's what's really killing them this game.
Another icing by Mansfield will bring the draw back into their defensive end. 4 minutes, 29 seconds left to go. A 4-2 Mansfield lead. James Warren with 2 for the Hornets. Matt Turigny and Thomas Gormley also contributing with a goal apiece. Bastos with 1 for the Raiders and Axon the other. Delayed offsides allows Mansfield to break out. Turigny into the middle, picked off by Fitzpatrick. Now Somerset Berkley resetting. Mason Sullivan with a forecheck heavy in his face, nearly turned the puck over. It got on to Rodriguez, who pushed it aside easily. Gonzalez trying to clear, kept in by Wormley. Turigny trying to help. McKenna able to get it out to center. Turigny with Warren speeding in. His shot. Rodriguez another save. Now an indirect looking back door. Warren was thinking hat trick, but he put it just wide. Warren battling below the goal with Gonzalez. Axon to help him. Axon up the middle will get it to nudge out of the zone. Fitzpatrick in a race for the puck. He got it initially. He's still fighting for it with D'Elio. Now Sullivan in the middle. His shot never got through. Bastos. Below goal, back in front, McKenna, they score! 1 goal game!
We got a hockey game. Plenty of time.
Cam McKenna, second of the season. He had the only goal in the Prenda Cup championship loss for the Raiders and grabs a second there. And it is 4-3 with 3 minutes and 17 seconds to play here in Fall River.
Funny, Cam McKenna's play reminds me a lot of the World Juniors Canadian player Gavin McKenna. I mean, they're both really skilled and fast players, and honestly, I think McKenna is one of the most skilled players out on the ice right now.
We've been touting about the skill and speed of this team all day long until we've been blue in the face. But it is true. Another chance for Mansfield, and there's the dagger. Roman Gurr. What a gut punch for the Raiders after building up all that momentum.
Yeah, they answered the bell right back there.
A flat 3 minutes left now, 5-3 in favor of Mansfield. Bastos wins the draw, but Barboza went over the line before him. That's offside. Face-off will come just in front of the Mansfield bench, with the two first lines going head-to-head. Barboza on the forecheck. Causes a turnover in mid-ice, and now he has it. Evan Barboza couldn't dangle, but the backup by Evan Sylvia, and Butler kept it out somehow. Bastos battling to keep it in. Mansfield will clear. Nate Mello, the first one down there for Somerset Berkley. Mello was tied up with Silver. Mansfield to keep it in. Rope below goal and back around to the other side. Tarigny got it from Barboza for Silver. Silver cycling at the circle, turns and fires. Got blocked. Might have been Blankush. Now Tarigny for Vokey. Below goal, looking back out in front. Nate Mello gets that out of harm's way. And Blankush will push it out of the zone enough that a delayed offsides will give the Raiders some space. Mello for Bastos, skipping the puck on his stick to keep it going forward before it's finally dressed away. Now Warren, the high, towering backhand, will go all the way down for an icing.
I think it's a hit from behind call right there. I think it was on Barboza. The ref caught him taking a shot at one of the Hornets defensemen right there.
Tough go for Evan Barboza. He's in the box for the rest of this one. Raiders on the kill for the rest of this one. In a less than ideal scenario, down by 2. Axon, Gonzalves, Sullivan, and McKenna out there for the Raiders. Axon wins the draw, and it goes right up into the netting, out of play. Draw in the same spot. Axon won it again, this time to Mason Sullivan. Sullivan behind his goal, now moving up the board, had it taken off his stick. Backdoor pass for Gurr, looking for his second, and a glove save by Gavin Rodriguez. Minute and a half to play, draw to the left of Rodriguez. Axon won it. Sullivan able to nudge it out to center. Mansfield and Somerset ping-ponging the puck back and forth. Mansfield looking to advance. Sullivan the steal, feeds it below goal. Axon tried to backhand it on, and Butler will seal it.
Yeah, I think the frustration is starting to set in for Somerset right now, but I mean, overall, like, their effort hasn't been bad at all. It's just they haven't played sharp, and all 3 periods, it just they made some kind of poor passes and poor plays, and I think that's what's the difference right now, the 2-goal lead for the Hornets.
Mansfield will move it out on the end of their power play as we go under a minute to go, and an icing call as Tarigny could not connect with Gurr on that cross-ice pass. 5-3 Mansfield. Piggybacking off a 2-goal effort from James Warren and contributions from other major seniors as well. Looking like they might escape with a big road victory against one of the best Division III teams in the state. Bastos won the draw, tried to shoot, got blocked. Mansfield on the way out. Getting it dressed off his stick was Brendan Vokey, and offside called as Vokey tried to put it back on. .9 left on the clock, a minute and 1 second left on the Mansfield power play. Not that that would matter any more than the 40 seconds. Bastos in on the draw against Brendan Vokey, and a timeout is called.
Seems like Somerset's starting to play a little bit more angry now. I just wish they came out in the first period with the same mentality. I think this score would look a little bit different.
These two teams will meet again later in the season as part of a home and home. So the Raiders will see this squad again. Kevin Snyder and his staff of Justin Kuchar, Brian Horta, and Manny Silva talking it over with their squad right now. Mark O'Brien doing the same for his Mansfield Hornets squad. Both teams just broke their huddles, or at least it seemed like Mansfield did at first. Somerset's ready, and now Mansfield is as well for the last 40.9. And as we've seen thus far in this one, anything can happen, so stay on the edge of your seats for the rest of this one. Axon lost the draw. Mansfield looking to control puck and kill clock. Mason Sullivan on the forecheck nearly caused a turnover. Foley going down for one of the goal scorers, and Gormley cycling behind his goal, killing time.
Yeah, they're just playing keep away right now.
Keep away indeed. Now up ahead to Rigney. Back for Foley as he enters. Declan Foley. Tied up by Gonzalez. He'll push it up the board. Axon has it, and now Evan Sylvia. Sylvia with a lot of speed comes in, and a nice stop by Dylan Butler as the clock expires to conclude this game today, with the Mansfield Hornets coming into Driscoll Arena and defeating the Somerset Berkley Raiders 5-3. 2 goals from James Warren was really the big difference maker, especially in this third period. And Mikey, as the Raiders look ahead, Apponequet coming in on Wednesday, I'll be on the call for that one. What do you think is the biggest adjustment this squad needs to make before they face a local rival?
I think they just honestly and simply just need to be playing more put together. This is why I just call a minor setback. It's not a great loss, but at the same time, I was impressed with their effort. They didn't just lay down and give up when they were down. They kept fighting. It's just turnovers and poor mistakes is what cost them this game.
And for Mansfield, one of the bright spots has to be the performance of Dylan Butler. One of the goals was a fluke, and the other 2 weren't really his fault. He played phenomenal today, going up against a goalie just as good as him as Gavin Rodriguez.
Yeah, not only that, their forecheck was immensely powerful. I mean, they constantly stood on Somerset throughout the entire game, and they never let up on them. They never gave them a chance to breathe. They never gave them time and space, and I think that's why they weren't able to produce offensively as efficiently as they're used to. That didn't look like the Somerset team we're always used to watching play it here at Driscoll or even on the road.
Somerset Berkley will drop to 3-2 for their record on the season. Next game I will see you at is against Apponequet here at Driscoll on Wednesday night. But for now, for my partner Mikey Alves and the entire Somerset Access TV and Somerset Berkley Blue Raider Studios crew, I'm JJ Sylvia, wishing you a good rest of your Monday night.